In the heart of the conflict, an innovative weapon has emerged that could dramatically alter the landscape of war. This isn't just any missile, it's a powerful, fast cruise missile capable of reaching deeper into Russian territory than any previous weapon in Ukraine's arsenal. Meet the Flamingo. Its debut speaks volumes, and it comes at a pivotal moment for the nation amid ongoing hostilities. Just as Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky prepared for significant discussions in Washington, the existence of the Flamingo was revealed by Associated Press photographer Evrem Lukatsky on social media. With Zelensky set to meet with U.S. President Donald Trump as tensions between Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin simmered, this revelation couldn't have come at a more crucial time. Accompanied by a coalition of influential European leaders, including figures like NATO's Secretary General and various prime ministers, Zelensky aimed to reaffirm Ukraine's resolve. His delegation sought to ensure continued American support against Russian aggression, showcasing Ukraine's determination to reclaim sovereignty and respond effectively. The Flamingo's unveiling just before this high-profile summit undoubtedly provided a necessary boost to this endeavor, reinforcing the message that Ukraine remains capable and resilient. As the days progressed, intriguing details surfaced about the Flamingo. This missile boasts an impressive range of approximately 1,864 miles and a formidable warhead weighing around 2,535 pounds. It's a land-based cruise missile that launches from specially designed trailers, swiftly taking to the skies after ignition, a sight that underscores its technological advancement. This capability is a significant enhancement, positioning Ukraine to strike further into Russian territory with unprecedented force. With the odds stacked against them, facing a larger and better armed foe, Ukrainian forces have displayed extraordinary courage and tenacity on the battlefield. But this newfound missile capability may level the playing field, giving Ukraine the power to influence targets deep within Russia itself. This strategic shift opens doors to not just altering battle lines but impacting the vital resources that fuel the Russian war machine. Yet, amidst this promising innovation, could the Flamingo herald a new chapter of escalated conflict? Only time will tell how this weapon's introduction will shape the ongoing hostilities, but one thing is certain, the stakes have never been higher, and the world will be watching. In an era defined by relentless conflict, Ukraine unveils a crucial game-changer, the Flamingo cruise missile. With a staggering range nearing 1,864 miles and an imposing warhead weight of 2,535 pounds, this missile represents an evolution in Ukraine's offensive strategy. Launched from mobile platforms, its rapid ascent underscores a powerful shift in the ability to target adversaries deep within Russian territory. The Flamingo stands as a monumental upgrade over previous long-range attack capabilities. It signifies more than just a technological leap, it opens a pathway for Ukraine to strike beyond previous limits, delivering devastating blows with precision. Despite facing overwhelming odds on the battlefield, with superior numbers and firepower against them, Ukrainian forces courageously resist Russian advances. Ground battles alone show little promise in reclaiming occupied lands, yet the tides may turn with an arsenal armed with the Flamingo. As night falls, the hum of drones fills the air, contrasting with the stillness of the evening. Ukraine's aerial onslaught turns nighttime into a battlefield, targeting critical infrastructure across Russia. As these strikes escalated, August brought significant disruptions, notably affecting the Druzhba pipeline that supplies gas to Hungary and Slovakia. Ukraine's relentless attacks have reduced Russia's oil output by 13.5%, dealing a blow to a revenue stream crucial for financing their ongoing military endeavors. Prior to the Flamingo, Ukraine relied heavily on outdated Soviet-era missiles, the SS-21 Scarab, known as Tochka, and the Tu-143 Rays. Both models, alongside the older Tu-141 Stryz, lacked the range to threaten critical targets within Russia effectively. The Tochka had its moment of glory, famously sinking the Saratov landing ship in Berdyansk back in March 2022, marking a significant naval defeat for Russia. However, as arsenals dwindle, reliance on these missiles brought forth a pressing need for innovation and more profound capabilities. The unveiling of the Flamingo marks a pivotal shift, signaling that Ukraine is prepared to escalate the conflict on its terms, and the consequences for Russia could be grave. Will this new weapon tip the scales in favor of Ukraine? The audio of its launch could soon echo across the combat zone, reshaping the future of this relentless war. Previously, we explored how Ukraine relied on older Soviet missiles like the Tochka to strike key targets, including a major Russian naval loss. But what happens when your missile stockpiles run dry, and the enemy's heartland remains just beyond your reach? By 2025, those battlefield workhorses, the Tochka missiles, had mostly vanished from the war zone. Their range, limited to about 9 to 75 miles, and an accuracy that could drift up to 500 feet off target, capped their effectiveness. Ukraine needed something stronger, something with longer legs. Enter the Neptune missile, a subsonic anti-ship weapon repurposed from the Soviet SSN-25 Switchblade. This missile transformed into a land-based predator, ready to hunt Russian naval and coastal positions alike. With a range topping 180 miles and packing a 330-pound warhead, it was far from a small punch. Yet, for all its abilities, the Neptune's reach and destructive power still couldn't shake the deepest parts of Russia's territory. Take the sinking of the Russian Navy ship Spazitel Vasiliybek near Snake Island on June 17, 2022. Two missiles hit the target. Some say they were RGM-84 Harpoon missiles supplied by the West, others insist they were Neptune missiles. Either way, Ukraine proved it could strike hard, but was it enough? Come 2023 and 2024, Ukraine's missile reality looked stark. Stocks of Neptune missiles dwindled, and older Soviet models faded into silence. The lifeblood of Ukraine's missile arsenal shifted toward NATO-supplied weapons. Among these, one rose to iconic status: the HIMARS. Technically, HIMARS refers to a wheeled launch system, but Ukraine primarily fields the M31 GLMRS rocket, fired from tracked M270 MLRS vehicles. This weapon lets Ukraine sweep away Russian forces and equipment lurking just behind the front lines. Its minimum range is around 9.3 miles, with a deadly reach extending up to 43 miles. The warhead? A potent 200 pounds of high explosives hitting targets at Mach 2.5, the sound turning to sheer thunder as it strikes. But here's the catch. Despite its destructive resume obliterating command posts, radar stations, and logistics hubs, HIMARS and its cousins don't possess the range to threaten deeper Russian territory. How can Ukraine possibly hit the enemy's strongholds, far from the front line, when its long-range arsenal remains limited? The battlefield demands a new leap forward. Is Ukraine's next weapon just over the horizon? Could it shatter the limits that have kept the war locked in a deadly stalemate? The answer lurks beneath the surface, somewhere between innovation and desperation, waiting to emerge. What comes next might change everything. Previously, we saw how Ukraine's shorter-range guided munitions have been key in striking enemy positions just behind the front lines. Their lightning-fast impact at Mach 2.5, carrying 200 pounds of high explosives, has disrupted command centers and logistics hubs. Yet, these weapons cannot reach deep into Russian territory. So, what comes next for Ukraine's arsenal when distance decides fate? France's Hammer, known in full as Armand Air Sol Modulaire, steps into this story as a heavy hitter. It's not quite a missile, it's a 550-pound guided bomb with a small rocket motor. It slams into targets around 43 miles away, delivering powerful blows similar to the shorter-range strikes. Alongside this, another weapon takes the stage, the US AGM-154 Joint Standoff Weapon, or JSOW. This glide bomb is silent and unpowered, a shadow soaring toward its prey without outrunning radar. From low altitude, it can travel 12 nautical miles, from high, up to 63 nautical miles. Its warhead packs 500 to 1,000 pounds of destruction, depending on the version. But still, like the Hammer, it cannot penetrate deep into Russia's vast interior. The real game-changers come in the form of true long-range cruise missiles. The British Storm Shadow and France's counterpart, Scalp-EG, have reshaped Ukraine's strike capacity. These weapons can fly anywhere from 150 to 340 miles and carry a devastating 1,000-pound multistage broach warhead designed to pierce hardened targets. Imagine a missile hunting silently over hundreds of miles, piercing defenses with pinpoint accuracy. This extended reach has pushed Ukraine's strike capabilities far beyond what was previously possible. Then arrives the American M39 ATACMS missile, introduced late in 2023. With an operational range reaching up to 190 miles and carrying either 470 to 560 pounds of explosive or a swarm of 950 M74 bomblets, it multiplies Ukraine's ability to cripple enemy forces and logistics. These imported missiles have taken a toll, destroying Russian equipment, halting critical infrastructure, and even forcing the Black Sea Fleet to retreat from Crimea. Their impact can be felt far beyond the front line, echoing across resource lines and military command. But here lies the puzzle: Russia is no small target, its sheer size stretches defense lines and resources thin. As they pull assets farther behind the shield of distance, Ukraine faces a brutal challenge. The weapons that once pierced close now fall short of reaching vital centers deep inside Russian borders. The pursuit of longer-range strike weapons is no longer a choice, it's a necessity for survival and victory. Yet missiles like these come with a staggering price tag. Each one demands hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions, of dollars to produce. With Ukraine's entire national budget already funneled into waging war, paying civil servants, and maintaining everyday life under siege, the nation leans heavily on external support to sustain this costly fight. The burning question lingers, can Ukraine afford to keep buying these expensive tools of war while pushing deeper into enemy territory? What if there's another way, something cheaper, possibly more sustainable? Something that can change the rules of engagement without breaking the bank? The hunt for that secret weapon begins. As the ongoing conflict with Russia escalates, Ukraine finds itself in dire need of advanced weaponry. The older missile systems, while once effective, have proven too limited in range and effectiveness. The high costs associated with missile production mean that the country must prioritize alternative solutions. To rise to this critical challenge, Ukraine has turned its focus to the development of long-range strike drones, affordable alternatives capable of delivering precision strikes. Imagine the hum of a drone slicing through the crisp night air, its silhouette barely visible against the darkening sky. These remarkable machines can travel vast distances, with some capable of soaring over 500 miles. They have become a cornerstone of Ukraine's aerial strategy, proving their worth in countless operations amidst a landscape of destruction. While imported drones like the British Dart 250 carry a payload of 55 pounds over 155 miles and the Banshee jet utilized as a kamikaze drone provide additional firepower, the backbone of Ukraine's long-range capabilities lies in its homegrown designs. For instance, the impressive Swiss-made Destinus Lord boasts a payload capacity similar to the Dart, but with the potential to reach between 465 and 1,240 miles. News reports mention that some of these imported UAVs faced challenges, falling victim to Russia's defenses. Yet, many undoubtedly completed their missions, unleashing chaos on enemy targets. The innovative spirit of Ukrainian engineers shines through, with at least a dozen different long-range strike drones now operating within their ranks. The Ukrjet UJ-22 Airborne stands out with its classic design, a tractor propeller leading the way, paired with straight wings and a sturdy undercarriage. These drones aren't just machinery, they are symbols of resistance and resilience in a time of crisis. In a flashback to a crowded workshop, the scent of grease fills the air. Technicians work tirelessly, their eyes glued to screens displaying intricate designs. The sound of machinery echoes, while blueprints scatter like hopes in the wind. What new wonders will their dedication to innovation reveal next in this unprecedented battle against an overwhelming force? As Ukraine's drone arsenal continues to evolve, it raises a provocative question: could this shift in strategy turn the tide of war? With the looming possibility of sophisticated drone weaponry, is Russia prepared for what lies ahead? Trained engineers and dedicated soldiers alike have poured their hearts into this mission, presenting a united front against a powerful adversary. The stakes have never been higher, and the outcome remains uncertain. The intensity of the battlefield is rising as a shadow looms over the skies. Be captivated by the innovation that could shift the tides of war. Ukraine's newest aerial weapon, a long-range strike drone known as the An-196 Lutii, which means fierce. Rumors whisper of its remarkable range, spanning between 620 to an astonishing 1,240 miles, enhancing Ukraine's military reach beyond imagination. But, how did this transformation occur amidst the chaos? Previously, drones like the Ukrjet UJ-22 Airborne embodied ingenuity, sporting a classic design with a propeller at the front and simple wings. These drones originally carried a payload of 110 pounds but have now evolved to handle up to 165 pounds. They've successfully struck targets over 375 miles from the Ukrainian border, showcasing their potency. During one pivotal moment, on July 26, a fleet of these drones targeted the signal plant in Stavropol, striking fear into the heart of Russian manufacturing. Yet, that's not the limit of Ukraine's aerial capabilities. Imagine a hybrid marvel, the Aeroprakte 22 Foxbat UAV, originally a lightweight two-seat ultralight aircraft, now weaponized for long-range strikes. Its estimated range of 620 miles means it can hit far-off Russian targets. A standout moment was its reported strike on the Garandrone manufacturing facility in Yelabuga, Tatarstan, a daunting 800 miles from the Ukrainian-Russian border. Was this drone's potential underestimated, or did it sneak inside Russia for a calculated strike? However, the larger and slower drones face challenges. Their size and noise make them vulnerable targets, prompting a shift towards jet-powered alternatives for stealth and speed. The UJ-25 Skyline, a modified loitering munition, emerges with a potential strike radius of 500 miles and a decisive 22-pound warhead. Then there's the UJ-26 Bober, or Beaver, which boasts a 620-mile range and has been spotted attacking the very heart of Moscow itself, armed with a payload of 44 pounds. But amidst all these advancements, the crown jewel remains the An-196 Ludiai. With its fierce spirit, it promises to redefine combat dynamics. As Ukraine pushes back against its adversaries, will this innovative aerial force turn the tide, leaving enemies in a state of bewilderment? As potential loss looms large, who can stand against the ferocity of the skies? The future hangs in the balance, and only time will tell the outcome of this high-stakes game of aerial chess. In a realm where technology meets warfare, a new contender has emerged, the An-196 Ludiai drone, or Fierce. With a formidable operational range between 620 to 1,240 miles, this drone represents a remarkable leap in Ukraine's striking capabilities. Initially designed with a payload capacity of 110 pounds, enhancements have raised that limit to an impressive 165 pounds, allowing it to target objectives over 375 miles from Ukraine's borders. On July 26, history was made when Ludiai drones struck the signal plant in Stavropol, a facility known for manufacturing radar and electronic warfare systems. This critical operation highlighted the drone's strategic value. Each Ludiai costs around $200,000, a price that underscores its significance to the Ukrainian defense forces. In July, Germany pledged to support the production of up to 500 units, solidifying its role on the front lines. Simultaneously, Germany has begun funding the Bars missile, Ukraine's first mass-produced cruise missile, which may soon be deployed alongside the Ludiai. Reports indicate that both weapons are now being used more frequently in combat. However, recent imagery from the Stavropol incident appears to reveal a downed Bars missile for the first time. While not much is known about the Bars yet, it's expected to match the Ludiai's range, but with a larger warhead and double the speed. This development showcases another major advancement in Ukraine's defense arsenal, though the Bars has a range less than that of the extended Ludiai variant. Yet, amidst these advancements, challenges lurk. Just a week prior to the announcement of the Flamingo missile, Russia's Federal Security Service claimed to have destroyed existing stockpiles of a ballistic missile system known as Sapsan, also referred to as Rim-2, alongside the infrastructure needed for its production. This revelation raises questions about the future capabilities of Ukraine's arsenal. How will Ukraine maintain its technological edge as its opponents attempt to stifle its advancements? As the stakes rise, the war's outcome hangs in the balance, driven by the relentless quest for innovation in the face of adversity. Stay tuned, as each revelation grips the world with uncertainty and possibility. In a pivotal moment for Ukraine's defense capabilities, a new missile has emerged, and the stakes couldn't be higher. It's the Flamingo, a cutting-edge cruise missile poised to redefine the battlefield balance between Ukraine and Russia. This missile, with its formidable range and immense power, promises to strike at the heart of Russian positions deep within their territory. But what does this mean in the context of an ongoing war where every inch matters? The Flamingo was first introduced to the world through a social media post that stirred excitement among military analysts and defense enthusiasts alike. Kiev-based manufacturer Firepoint unveiled this missile, boasting an operational range of 1,864 miles. It carries a massive warhead of approximately 2,535 pounds, signals of its destructive potential reverberating through the air. What's more, its cruise speed clocks in at around 590 miles per hour, enabling it to sneak past all but the most advanced air defenses. But as details about the Flamingo's capabilities spread, there was reason to question its impact. The Russian Federal Security Service claimed it had successfully destroyed critical Sapsan missile production sites. Even so, images circulating from these attacks raised eyebrows. Were these truly the facilities the FSB purported them to be? Amidst these uncertainties, the importance of the Flamingo becomes starkly clear. Unlike its faster counterpart, the Sapsan, whose impressive speed hovers over 3,000 miles per hour, Flamingo relies on weight to sustain its might. Some experts argue that it resembles the American Tomahawk missile. Yet Firepoint boldly asserts that the Flamingo surpasses it in almost every technical aspect, while being far more cost-effective. With the unit price of a single Flamingo estimated at between $350,000 and $2 million, it presents a more affordable option for sustained strikes compared to the Tomahawk, which can exceed $1.87 million. As Ukraine desperately seeks to undermine Russian advances, the introduction of this innovative missile could offer the upper hand. But how will Russia respond to such a game-changing weapon? Will the landscape of warfare shift as a result, or will the Flamingo's triumph be short-lived against Russian defenses? As the conflict evolves, one thing is certain: the Flamingo symbolizes a crucial chapter in Ukraine's fight for survival and independence. Can this missile become the defining force that turns the tide? Or will it be just another addition to a grueling and protracted struggle? Each launch carries the weight of an entire nation's hopes, echoing in the sounds of distant explosions and the unyielding pursuit of freedom. Imagine spending nearly $2 million on a single missile, enough to change the face of a battlefield forever. Now, what if Ukraine's newest weapon, the Flamingo, costs just a fraction of that? Somewhere between $350,000 and $2 million per unit, it could tilt the scales in a desperate war where every dollar counts. But how can this cutting-edge missile be so affordable, and what secrets hide behind its origins? Ukraine's wallet is stretched thin. With resources drained by an endless conflict, scaling up production presents a monumental challenge. Could a new partnership, similar to Germany's past collaboration on missile production, be quietly grinding behind the scenes? Some experts suspect yes. Recently, observers from defense analysts pointed out something shocking: the Flamingo looks strikingly like another missile almost identical to the FP5, crafted by Milanion, a firm based in the United Arab Emirates. Its specs match almost perfectly with Milanion's public brochures, sparking whispers of a hidden alliance. But what does that mean? Is Ukraine tapping into international networks to fuel this deadly weapon? Milanion holds British connections, which hints that the United Kingdom might be covertly behind Flamingo's progress. Such a layered, shadowy supply line makes you wonder: are we witnessing a quiet war of alliances, played out far from the front lines? Yet, beyond this intrigue lies the question of how the Flamingo stacks up against its legendary rival, the Tomahawk missile. Sure, the Flamingo boasts a longer reach and carries over twice the payload, hurtling faster through the air, but experts caution against overestimating it. The Tomahawk remains a titan of precision and adaptability, renowned for its Turcom guidance system that effectively sidesteps GPS jamming, a critical edge in Ukraine's electronic battlefield. In contrast, the Flamingo relies mainly on inertial and satellite navigation, making it more vulnerable to electronic interference. What really grants the Flamingo its monstrous range and destructive power? Its immense frame, a wingspan stretching nearly 20 feet, weighing in at 6 tons, and a straightforward wing design make it deceptively strong. This simplicity not only cuts production costs but also fuels its long strike capabilities. Will this trade-off between cost efficiency and advanced tech decide its fate on the battlefield? As the war drags on, the stakes grow ever higher. Will the Flamingo emerge as Ukraine's secret weapon, or will it fall short under Russia's relentless countermeasures? The answers may lie deep within the missile's shadowy development story, and the clandestine partnerships pulling the strings behind the scenes. Imagine a missile so enormous that it commands attention the moment it takes flight, its wingspan stretching nearly 20 feet, weighing 6 tons at launch. Its simple, sturdy design isn't just for show, it's this very simplicity that grants it deadly range and immense firepower, while also keeping production costs surprisingly low. This is Ukraine's Flamingo, an imposing new star in the game of long-range strikes deep inside Russia. But here's the twist: that very size that gives the Flamingo its power also makes it a sitting duck for enemy defenses. Without any stealth measures, its large silhouette is easy to track and intercept, like a bullseye floating against the horizon. Despite this vulnerability, Ukraine's track record with drones and missiles, some far less sophisticated than the Flamingo, shows that even relatively loud attacks can unlock critical damage inside Russian territory. The question is, will the Flamingo survive the gauntlet of defenses awaiting it? Ukraine's missiles so far have packed warheads 5 times smaller, making them effective but limited. A strike on a refinery's distillation tower might halt operations temporarily. But dismantling an entire oil refinery? That demands a whole new class of weapon. Take the strike on the huge Garin drone factory in Yelabuga, for instance. Ukrainian attacks peppered one workshop, causing disruption, but months later, the facility exploded in size, cranking out thousands of drones every month. Simply put, drones alone aren't enough to topple these mega-factories. What if just a handful of flamingos could obliterate such a complex quickly and decisively? This could change everything. But these heavy hitters won't operate alone. The secret lies in coordinated strikes. Waves of smaller attack and decoy drones rush in first, baiting out air defenses. As Russian systems bite the bait, flamingos and other missiles slip through, smashing key targets with devastating precision. This layered assault isn't just smart, it's potentially game-changing. Can Ukraine turn vulnerability into tactical brilliance and unleash the flamingos' full potential? The answer will echo far beyond the battlefield, shaking the foundations of this grueling conflict. The previous section highlighted the potentially devastating impact of Ukraine's newly unveiled missile, the Flamingo, which aims to puncture deep into Russian defenses. The strategy suggests using a mix of drones to draw fire, paving the way for the Flamingo to devastate critical infrastructure like airfields and factories. As Ukraine claims to have already deployed the Flamingo, the world eagerly awaits further updates on its production scale and effectiveness. Now, this emerging weapon is poised to change the dynamics of warfare. With its capability to strike at the heart of Russian military operations, the Flamingo could inflict unprecedented damage. Imagine the chaos it could bring to major targets, disrupting supply chains and crippling operations. While rumors of its combat use spread, the reality of how many flamingos exist or are being produced remains shrouded in mystery. If indeed the Flamingo delivers on its promises, Russian President Vladimir Putin may find himself overwhelmed by a fresh wave of destruction. Each strike could sow panic and uncertainty within the ranks, creating strategic challenges that he cannot ignore. As experts keep a close watch on this situation, one question looms large: will the Flamingo redefine the battlefield? While we wait for definitive answers, expect the stakes to rise significantly in this ongoing conflict. The military strategies at play will be crucial in determining the war's outcome, especially if unexpected twists arise. The Flamingo is more than just a weapon, it embodies a pivotal shift in Ukraine's approach, forcing adversaries like Russia to rethink their defense strategies. Stay tuned for more insights and developments about this high-stakes battle for influence and victory. This is far from over. The evolution of warfare is unfolding before our eyes, and what happens next could alter the course of history itself.